Welcome back, champions, to the Champion Mindset Collective podcast. This is the place where we ignite your passion, turbocharge your success, and transform the thinking and ignite the champion within you. I'm your host, Anthony Dahya, and I'm so grateful you're here today listening to this podcast episode, and would love for you to share this episode with your friends, your family, and your workmates. And if you haven't already done so, please follow this podcast so that you don't miss any future episodes, and we can get this podcast out to the wider community. Today, it's my absolute pleasure and privilege to welcome you all here today on this episode around limiting beliefs, what they are and how we can overcome them. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I too have struggled through many times in my life. We all do. And the key is not to get stuck and let them hold us back from moving forward. So, what is a limiting belief? Well, in simple terms, a limiting belief could be defined as a mental block, which is how these beliefs hinder us, our potential and progress by blocking our path forward, much like a physical obstacle would in the real world. So limiting beliefs are like invisible fences we build around ourselves based on what we think we can or can't do. So imagine thinking you're not good at drawing. That thought might stop you from ever trying to learn or even improve. And these beliefs can affect all parts of our lives, making us miss out on opportunities, happiness, and achieving our goals. So where do limiting beliefs come from? Well, between the ages of 0 to 7, which is our formative years, limiting beliefs take root in our childhood. And we're like sponges. We're absorbing information about the world, about ourselves and our abilities. And some of these examples of limiting beliefs are family. If parents or siblings often say things like, hey, we're not a family of athletes, or none of us are good at numbers, children can internalize these statements as truths about their own abilities and potential. And this becomes like a programming in our brain. It might even lead to avoiding sports or struggle with maths, believing that they're just not good. That's just not their strengths. Friends can also, like for example, peer groups, play a crucial role in shaping our beliefs. And if friends mock us or discourage us in certain activities, like only nerds enjoy reading, or cool kids don't play with instruments, or a child might abandon those interests and not pursue them, or not even begin with them, fearing like social rejection and or believing that they won't fit in. Now, how many times has that happened to you in the past? And so at school, this happens all the time. And kids come home and they, like my daughter, she comes home and she said, this person said this about me. And it's quite sad when you hear that from your child. Teachers and the experiences at school can also have a powerful influence over children. Teachers' comment about a student's ability can impact the self-esteem, and saying things like, you're not a natural writer, or art isn't just for everyone. And these early experiences of failure or embarrassment in school settings, for example, struggling to read it out loud or being picked on last in the team, all of these things can embed like a negative belief in their capability. You see, children develop an understanding of their identity and abilities through feedback from their environment. When children receive negative feedback or observe limiting attitudes, they're likely to adopt these as part of their self-belief system. And long-term effects, these are early formed beliefs can stick with us in our adulthood, unconsciously guiding decisions and actions. And I've witnessed this in my own life. For example, the belief of being labelled as clumsy can lead to avoiding activities that require physical coordination, missing out on enjoyable experiences, and potential areas of talent. And it's not just sports or dance. This clumsiness label might make some hesitant or make someone hesitant or try anything that requires like you know playing an instrument or engaging in certain types of art. So what are the impacts of limiting beliefs? Well, the impacts of limiting beliefs on an individual's life can be quite multifaceted, affecting everything from your personal growth to the realization of their potential. By going deeper into each one of these impacts, we can understand the influence these mental blocks can have on various aspects of life. So, holding back from new experiences. So, limiting beliefs act like a barrier to exploring new opportunities. The fear of failure, which is so prevalent, is the powerful deterrent. And if you're convinced that you can fail, then you will. You might not see the point in even trying something. And this kind of mindset prevents you from experiencing the growth. And that often comes from stepping out of your comfort zone. So, for instance, you might avoid taking a class or lesson because you believe that you have two left feet. Now, missing out on this opportunity, you're missing out on joy of dancing, but also the opportunity to meet new people or improve your physical fitness. So, limiting beliefs can also have an impact on your self esteem and confidence. Your self esteem and your confidence are quite deeply intertwined with our beliefs about ourselves. Now, these limiting beliefs can erode self esteem by reinforcing a negative self perception. And if you believe that you are unlikable or incompetent, you're more likely to interpret interactions and outcomes through the lens of which can further lower your confidence. And this kind of cycle of negative thinking can make it difficult to recognize and celebrate your strengths and your achievements, which then leads to a diminished sense of self-worth. Limiting beliefs can also have a impact or influence on your decisions and your life path. One of the most significant impacts of limiting beliefs is the ability to shape decisions and ultimately the direction of your life. These beliefs can make you rule out certain career paths, relationships, or even goals because you think that they're out of reach. For example, you might dream of starting your own business, but believe that you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. As a result, you might settle for a job that feels safer, but it doesn't fulfill you. So over time, living a life that doesn't align to your true desires or potential can lead to feelings of regret and dissatisfaction. So, how do we break this cycle? Well, understanding the impacts of limiting beliefs is the first step towards overcoming them. And here's some few strategies that can help you breaking that cycle. So, challenge your beliefs. Actively question the validity of your limiting belief. Are they really true? Or are they based on outdated information or fear of the unknown? Now, in the cognitive behavioral therapy, they use CBT, they use this 3C method, which is catch your thoughts, check your thoughts, and change your thoughts. And if you don't believe that it's true, then you should change your thoughts and start creating a new reality. Start believing a new way of, yes, you are good at doing something. The other thing is we can look at new experiences. So putting yourself into situations that challenge your limiting beliefs. So success in these new experiences will provide concrete evidence against the negative self-perceptions. Also, celebrating small wins. Now, this is so important because we don't do this in this day and age. Recognizing and celebrating even small achievements will boost your confidence and it chips away at the limiting beliefs. Remember, this is a long journey It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take time because this is years and years and years of conditioning that we need to break down, right? So the other thing that I've found really helpful for me is mindfulness and reflection. So practicing mindfulness to become more aware of when your limiting beliefs are influencing your thoughts and actions, and reflecting on these moments that can help you choose a different response. Now, what I do is, for example, I reprogram my brain as the day goes by. So when something comes up, I use the 3C method and go, is this, catch the thought, is this true? No, it's not. Change the thought. And the more you do that in repetition, then what happens is that you will start to feed your mind the right parameters or to believe. Because what happens is in your brain there's the RAS, so articulating system, and what it does is it acts as a filter, and it only lets in information that it knows in the subconscious or the unconscious mind. So when we start addressing these impacts of limiting beliefs, and we start actively working to overcome them, you can open up new possibilities in your life and move closer to realizing your full potential. Now, your full potential happens on a daily basis. It's not a destination. Your full potential is for that day. What is the full potential that you can reach on a given day? And if you practice this, I guarantee you it will help you because it's worked in my life and it will work in your life. Now, let's look at how we can overcome these limiting beliefs. Well, let's start with the childhood limiting beliefs. So, awareness is the first step for change. Recognizing that a limiting belief has its roots in the childhood allows for critical examination of its validity and the decision to reject it. And by understanding that these beliefs were formed based on other people's perceptions and not an absolute truth, it can be liberating. So when we get this realization, we can then begin to explore and develop new interests and skills beyond the confines of our early conditioning. So when we open up the world of possibilities where previously they weren't there. So reframing or reprogramming, which is what I talked about before, these beliefs involve changing how you think about them. And here's some practical steps that are backed up by psychological research that's going to help you do this. So, identify your limiting belief. First step is to recognize that these beliefs exist. Write them down. Your thoughts, they can help you see which ones are holding you back. So, journaling. I do this every day. I journal everything, what's going on in my mind, and then I can look back and see what pattern is happening. So when you start to question the validity of this, you ask, is this really true? Often you'll find that your belief is based on outdated, inaccurate information. And research has shown that cognitive behavioral therapy shows that questioning and challenging these distorted thoughts can significantly reduce negative thinking patterns. Another one to do is gathering evidence. So look for instances where limiting belief wasn't true. If you think you're not good enough at public speaking, but you remember times when you successfully spoke in front of other people, well, that's evidence that goes against your belief. Also, reframing your thoughts. So instead of saying, I can't do this, try, I haven't learned how to do this yet. And this small change of wording can shift your mindset from fixed to a more growth orientated one. And in Carol Dweck's research on, she's highlighted this in her book called The Mindset. Great book if you haven't read it, I encourage you to read it. There's also another book I'm reading at the moment. It's called The Genie Within Your Subconscious Mind: How It Works and How to Use It. It's really simple. It's been put into really simple words, and If if you're keen to look at that, it's written by a guy called Harry W. Carpenter, and he's actually gone to a whole lot of conferences, done lots of courses, and he's actually put this book together as a course. So he kind of takes you through this as a course. Now, the other thing you can do is use positive affirmations. Now, positive affirmations is just they're just statements, right? So positive affirmations are short, powerful statements that you repeat to yourself, and that helps you foster a more positive thinking. Research suggests that affirmations can increase your self-esteem and your confidence, helping you to counteract your limiting beliefs. Now, I've been doing this for a very long time, and whenever something pops up during the day, I stop and I use positive affirmations, because all I'm doing is canceling out that negative thought with a positive thought or positive statement. The other thing you could do is visualize success. So imagine yourself succeeding in areas where you feel limited. So visualization is a technique used by athletes and successful people to enhance their performance and achieve goals. And then lastly, take small steps. Break your goal into smaller, manageable tasks, and each small success will build your confidence and weaken your limiting belief. Now, here's some supporting research that you might want to look into. So, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which is well researched psychological treatment that has been shown to be effective in changing negative thought patterns, including limiting beliefs. And it's some of the people that have been referred to as Hoffman, Asani, Vonk, Swaya, and Fang. Mindset theory, which is Carol Dweck's research on fixed and growth mindsets, that underscores the power of believing that you can improve through effort. Her work shows that changing how we think about our abilities can lead to better learning, resilience, and achievement. Positive affirmations, research by Steele demonstrates that self affirmations can reduce impacts of threats to our self esteem and integrity, thereby supporting behavior change and helping override negative thought patterns. And then lastly, overcoming beliefs is not an overnight process, as I've said before, but it's with awareness and reflection and practice, you can start to break down these invisible fences. And by reprogramming your thought patterns, you can open up yourself to new possibilities and a fuller, more rewarding life. So, in closing, limiting beliefs, those invisible fences we construct around ourselves from a young age, can significantly shape our lives and the ways we might even not realize. And they come up from comments and attitudes of those around us during the formative years, deeply embedding themselves into our life. These mental blocks prevent us from trying new things, lowering our self esteem, our confidence, and can drastically alter the course of our lives. However, by recognizing and challenging and reframing these beliefs through practical research based backed methods, we can have the power to dismantle these barriers. And overcoming these limiting beliefs isn't just removing negatives from our lives, it's about actively creating a space where growth, confidence, and fulfillment can thrive. So, through mindfulness, reflection, and a commitment to personal development, we can transform these mental blocks into stepping stones towards realizing our full potential. Well, that's all I have for today. If you love this episode, please share it on social media, tag me on it. I would love to read the comments and interact with you. And click this link in the description if you want to join the Champion Mindset Collective Facebook group. And I'm also running a Mindset Mastery 4-week challenge. So there's a link there. Click that, join it, or register, and you'll get some passwords, a login details sent to you. And don't forget to share this episode with your friends, your family and colleagues. Let's spread the positivity and empowerment together. And remember to champion your life and champion your greatness. Have an amazing day.